Salve, salve galerinha, chegamos aqui ao último jogo que serve para alguma coisa de hoje.
Already shown multiple times through mid lane as well, so taking away from Showmaker, even though Khan has played a lot of tanks recently up on the top side. Meanwhile, we still have the Senna available. I feel like it's just so powerful.
Que é efetivamente Damwon contra Pentanet.
Has not been successful for any teams. Okay, there we go.
E esse jogo aqui vale alguma coisa, eu já falei no final do último game. E posso repetir agora para vocês. Esse jogo vale primeiro lugar para a Damwon.
So that can feel pretty comfortable. Udyr, the most highly prized champion of the tournament, going to be locked in. And Canyon, just going to say, you know what? Look, up until this point in time, the only teams who had played Lilia were eliminated from the tournament. That and Canyon. Well, he hasn't locked it in quite yet. Meanwhile, on the side of PGG, they did also early throw down on this Lucian. So yes, you can play it in either solo lane, but I'm definitely looking at Chaz here. You can flash in with Udyr as well if you have a very powerful clearing an aggressive jungler like Udyr early on with a pushing lane from your Lucian. Definitely can get some mid jungle action going there for PGG, try and get that upset. And Canyon does switch over to the Morgana, much more likely. He's been quite good on it as well. Really good black shields. You're speaking about Ghost and his affinity for Kai'Sa, you know, diving in and pulling a lot of these outplays off. If you have a Morgana there for the black shield, to be able to give him the immunity, plus be able to follow up on some of these initiations from Nautilus with the binding, definitely setting him up for success.
Okay, so Braum going to come through. Now, of note, I'm not certain if Braum works the same way, but Wind Wall does not stop Nautilus Ultimate because it's functionally subterranean. It's kind of weird, but that is how it works. I assume Braum Shield works the same way. Well, it will not stop it because it's not really projectile. Regardless, though, it, of course, does mean safety. That Lucian could always flex bot. As we know, Braum Lucian is a very strong duo, so a possibility there. But regardless, it's a good front line to hold up for a pretty strong back line.
Yeah, I mean, they really have, you know, had.
Será que esse Lucian vai ser bot contra Kai'Sa? Isso pode funcionar. Isso pode realmente funcionar. A Kai'Sa não tem range.
Sometimes you can suffer from if you're drafting solo laner like Lucian. Since obviously not bringing any crowd control to the table for himself. Silas and Jace taken out from the side of PGG as well, though. They don't want to let Chaz take the Kiana if they, you know, swap Lucian to the bottom side, you know, that classic kill lane with Braum as well, or about Panther on top side too.
Eu gosto de Braum Lucian, acho que é interessantíssimo aqui.
Kind of single-handedly took down Cloud9 a couple days ago and may, you know,
beleza, safe pick.
So Gnar going to be locked in. That'll be the blind top lane pick. Mid lane will be flexed till the end. We'll see for sure if it's going to Lucian or not. Keep in mind Tristana also still available, so you can always put Lucian and Tristan kind of both those spots and do whatever. Against Nautilus, I actually prefer Lucian into the bottom lane a little bit, since you can more easily dodge the hook, and Tristana's a bit more difficult, and just put Tristan into the matchup's good. Lee Sin going to be locked in, though. Is a mid-top flex for now. It's only the second game of the tournament for it for Khan, not played by Showmaker just yet, and instead, yep, just gonna play Zoe.
Insta-lock there real quick with the Zoe for the second pick on the solo lanes here for Showmaker. Let's see if he could have another tremendous game on the champion. He got so much early power last time around as well, so it was a super early completion of mythic item and came through with some very devastating bubbles and paddle stars.
Não gostei mais. Eu não gosto do Victor nessa comp. Não gostei mais. Eles vão ter que jogar pela bot lane e só pela bot lane, então. Eu não gosto do Victor contra isso. E o Lee Sin no top vai queimar a vida do Biopanther. Eu acho que a bot lane a PGG ganha, mid top a Damwon ganha, e tem tudo pra Damwon setar mais uma daquelas composições de pick-off em que você tá sozinho e do nada você não tá mais sozinho e tem 75 pessoas.
And worth noting, as Chaz plays his last game of MSI 2021. 3 straight Victor games. Hadn't played it up until yesterday, and then decided at the very last moment that, you know, Victor is actually all he wants to play. Did get a victory in the first one, and since then they haven't been hitting.
Yep, they got a win on it. That's their only win, so keep on doing it. All right, Pentanet, can they get another win here at MSI, trying to upset Damwon, keep Damwon out of the first place spot, lock in, or are Damwon going to secure it?
Let's see what it's going to be. The right to pick your first round opponent if they can win this one. Keep in mind, otherwise, if both teams are 7-3, RNG owns the head-to-head tiebreaker 2-0. That's why they would drop the second, and RNG would get selection. 8-2 obviously would be the best score out of the Rumble stage. It's interesting because I know coming in, we wondered if Damwon would maybe take this tournament undefeated, reigning world champions, only subbed 1 player out. They went to completely dominate the LCK. And, you know, it hasn't quite been that. Dropped a couple of games in their first group stage. Obviously dropped 2 games to RNG here, but it's the only team they have lost to in the top 6. Curious if that's going to remain the case, and if they might get revenge in the finals themselves in a few days' time. Damwon shaping up pretty well, though, overall.
I also want to touch on the composition overall for Damwon, because I'm actually a huge fan of using Morgana this way. I know there's a lot of emphasis always put on you need to have differing damage types from your mid jungle, or else your mid jungle duo is going to fall. But Morgana actually does so much to supplement the strengths of Zoe and actually cover some of the weaknesses too, because whenever you have Zoe and some of this long range damage and poke, the opposing team is always looking for that hard engage to try and close the gap on you. And Morgana Black Shield obviously does a lot to dissuade some of the hard engage and protect you from that. Plus, adding to the fact that if you land a Sleepy Trouble bubble, it makes an easy binding, and you're actually just asleep and then bound forever, and makes these picks devastating if you do combine.
Você vê que a composição da Damwon, ela vai jogar muito focada no early game. Ela vai a bot lane só joga bem mesmo a partir do nível 6. Mas a jogada da Damwon é novamente pick-off, é garantir vantagem numérica através de kill.
Guardian Shield gets pop, blocks a little bit of damage, and we're still pretty close in these duo lanes. One cast mean alive, Q's not going to land. Fight towards Barrel could be decent damage, but with Ghost playing in the brush, you could always answer back. Halo Blade's obviously pretty threatening. Hook's going to land again, and Decoy, 200 HP left onto him. Lucian Q lands in the back line, and Chaz already poked out a little bit in the mid lane. Level 2 versus level 1. A good sidestep for the Paddle Star. Overall, Shoemaker ahead in this lane. Now looking for the re-engage, level 2 and 1 minion. They're both there. Will it be enough to fight Barrel? He is on a ward. Not going to go for the Q or anything just yet. Another piercing light's going to land. 2-on-2 could explode at any moment. Again, one more anchor. They might find the damage of Decoy. Obviously, with Aftershock, Barrel could survive the re-engage and might just be fine. Bile Panther shoving in the first couple of waves. Doesn't get as aggressive an award as he might have liked, but it's enough to watch if Morgana comes through for a game.
Yeah, you can see Decoy was setting up for the level 2 all in there. Pre-level 2 fight, he's putting his passive onto Barrel, stacking it up. But since Praedyth had just used his Q, doesn't have the Lucian burst Q damage plus double auto, which is what you want to be able to instantly proc that passive and make the charge on your level 2. So Damwon did a very good job focusing the minions, getting their level 2 themselves quickly so that the all-in there from PGG does not happen at that point, allowing the junglers to just continue on with their full clearing. Canyon finishes on through the bottom side. Very good respect given by the PGG bottom side, since they know did start from the top end and will finish on bottom scuttle.
Well, worth noting, though, that going equal, I would say, favors Damwon slightly in the fact that I take Kai'Sa in the late game in most cases. Illusion Braum meant to be a bit more of a bully sort of lane. I think the kinds of things models can do late game tend to be a bit more powerful, mostly in starting team fights, but we'll see. There's plenty, of course, more game to play, but right now it is Damwon with the push lead. And they can crash this wave and reset if they need to. If it's going to be in a couple of longswords or something, should not be Noon Quiver money by any means, so it's not going to be a huge recall if there even is one.
Yeah.
But it's a refresh on resources. Ghost is entirely out of mana.
Especially to your point about Nautilus, if you're looking at, they also have a Black Shield on their team, and so it's insanely easy to Black Shield for like Braum passive stuns and stuff like that. Very easy to still have effectiveness if you're the Nautilus, even if they do have early Merc treads and stuff, you know, still getting value out of your hook. still getting decent value out of your ultimate as well. Good move here from Showmaker after pushing up to be able to keep track of Pabu. And if Udyr just continues to power clear, here we go, teleport behind them though.
Some damage TP and Ignite there on the Braum. Not the ideal target. Flashes in for the Q, but they're still splitting damage.
Meu Deus, você não quer lutar contra isso.
The re-engage is still going to mean a kill. And how about the chase down? Next time the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, it could mean death.
Tá.
Flashes the Q. It wasn't going to be lethal damage. And
o Braum morreu com um exaust na mão ainda.
Not sure we had to flash that one. There's no way item 0 Showmaker does 800
Ele tá pensando em outra jogada ou ele tá pensando em...
Eu
não sei.
On the bottom side. Barrel as well. Barrel is making this initiation into a full wave. So you can see the cannon minion plus all 3 ranged minions auto attacking him. Yeah, he's able to get his aftershock off, but he takes so much damage before Showmaker even arrives that he gets bursted down, flashing in forward there. So Pradith does, as you mentioned, end up using the flash anyways, even though he's not going to execute, and probably is going to recall off of that fight anyway.
Yeah, I want to point out some mechanics actually that Decoy did that was actually super sick. The primary thing Barrel wanted to do while running away was turn for an auto attack, put the root, and get aftershock on. And every time he went for the right click, Decoy turned around. And so he like walked up instead of landing an auto attack, and I don't get him. He walks away. Walks up for the auto attack. I don't have him again. And that actually bought a lot of extra time to get the damage on. And that was actually really sick by Decoy. Just the minor step backwards is part of the reason why that kill even happened.
Yeah, so much support battles revolve around who's proccing aftershock first.
Oh,
that's stylish, but he's going for it. It is minion. All right, jumps to the minion. That was still really sick though by Kong.
Honestly, Lee Sin, most of the things that Lee Sin does are pretty stylish, especially at the pro level. One of the reasons that I was actually happy to have Lee Sin back in the pro.
Meu Deus, o Biopanther. Pega a barra, Biopanther, pelo amor de Deus.
He is level 6, but so is Biopanther and has charged up the Mega Gnar Rage Bar. So will just be the dragon on bottom side for PGG. And the top side jungle presence actually amounts to nothing there for Damwon.
Beleza, qual é o segundo dragão? Montanha. A gente vai ter um dragão foda. A gente vai ter um dragão foda nesse jogo.
Picked up for PGG, quite nice for them to be able to play off, Lucian Braum.
Yeah. Now, Kobe, I know you maybe slurred your words slightly, but
e nesse jogo eu posso dizer, o Infernal é melhor para Damwon e o Oceano é melhor para BGG. Porque você tem uma composição com Poke e Pick-Off na Damwon. Então, você vai ter muito dano de longa distância, vai ter muito pokezinho, vai dar muito dano, a galera vai perder vida, etc e tal. Se você tem um dragão do oceano no lado da PGG, você se regenera desse poke, você consegue recuperar a vida desse poke e é como se você não tivesse tomado ele. Por outro lado, se vier um dragão infernal e a Damwon conseguir pegar, você vai estar potencializando aquele poke. Todo poke que entrar, vai entrar ainda mais forte, vai entrar mais quebrado, só isso.
Putting his head right back into the sand until the next international.
I'm an ostrich till Worlds. I'll see you then with Cloud9 wins Worlds again. All right. Well, 700 gold though puts Damwon in the lead. They're down a dragon, but it's not going to mean the most in the world. Pabu barely gets any value out of it. Everyone else though, actually yeah, Nara either really. It's actually one of the worst strikes of this team comp. They really don't use ult CDR in almost any way, but it's okay. They're going to catch some farm and look for the next re-engage at some point down the line. Ghost has a ton of AD, managed to get his lethality buy in as well, and this actually might be a bit more. Yeah, Noon Quiver's in the inventory now, so Ghost is on, pretty good item spikes.
Yeah, feeling pretty comfortable. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land for Showmaker, and that's gonna be another battle in 50%.
Vai ser nada demais, metade do HP, mas
there's 500
não vai
right
matar.
there, and rank 4 the ability, so Pradith again, 4 the ability with sleep, 500 damage. Just the numbers keep them in your head. Think about the flash next time around. There, we're back already. I decided it's.
Eu não acho que a Damwon nem sequer precise acelerar o jogo, mas é bom. É bom. Se eles pegam o Arauto, eles liberam o mapa, e se eles liberam o mapa, a Zoe fica livre pra jogar o mapa e pra dar esses ganks e homings e dives e coisas do tipo, tanto pra um lado quanto pro outro do mapa.
Mid lane still being cleared back and forth. Good farm though, Chaz. He's taking a bit of poke, he's taking a bit of paddling, but he is farming really well up in that mid lane, so that's impressive despite the assist. He's only
Além deles impedirem esse Victor de ficar segurando a torre muito tempo.
And that means we're seeing Ocean or Infernal Soul.
Yeah, definitely going to be one of the high-powered ones to be able to have a big influence on the game. I will say, with the way that top lane is going, should be really easy set up for Damwon. Showmaker also continuing to poke out this Victor. You know, early stages, Victor not going to have a very big impact. So definitely looks like Damwon should be able to at least get some control towards the mid stages of the game, not allow PGG to continue stacking dragons to any sort of threat there, since teleports will be coming up here for Khan and a little bit before Biopanther.
All right, well, down go the minions, and it's time for the reset. Still 145 of the dragons, so you don't have to push too hard for the plays just yet. A little bit of poke there from Ghost, but honestly, Guardian blocks away most of it. Anchor nearly lands, but that's why I like Lucian on reflex. That is not. Nope.
Die, Bush, die!
Man, it's like trimming hedges with nail
Ele
clippers.
apertou
It's
R.
just so ineffective. It just really almost
Sem querer.
Barrel, okay, yep, shield is on in time. A flash for decoy. Ult's gonna land on a Parade. It has to flash to get away because the bind might have landed, but because the distance built, it means he's able to dash away from the bind. So Parade this time around.
Foi sem querer.
Flash to get away from what would have been the plays. And hey, ultimately,
Meu Deus do
you know,
céu.
flash wasn't gonna matter anyway. It's back up regardless.
Yep. With that Lucian skin too, you always look even more cool because you don't actually even have to pull off moves, and the cape is just constantly moving. So
Yeah.
looks like you have a really high APM doing all of your dodging moves. Slick stuff there. You know, he still gets to retain his perfect KDA as well with the first kill that he did grab there. So everything looking great for them as far as the individual plays, but again, with the setup that Damwon have, we return to their goals in this game. They've got the Zoe Morgana, so they consistently put out this pressure. You see Showmaker doing it again.
Morreu não, ó o Purificar aí, trabalhando.
So well, when they're able to work off of any sort of early pressure like this, and since Khan's
Eu não sei, cara, eu tô desses jogos assim, eu admito que eu tô muito triste desses jogos não valerem mais nada, sabe? Correção, vamos ser sinceros, a Damwon, pra Damwon vale. Nossa, ok. Eu acho que para um jogo que vale alguma coisa, como equipe, para quem o jogo vale alguma coisa, eu acho que a Damwon tá jogando bem, muito calma. Ela tá indo um jogo bem lento. E até estão deixando, de certo modo, a Pentanet ter chance. A Alma do Oceano, como eu tinha falado, é melhor para Pentanet. Óbvio que não é ruim para Damwon. Inclusive a Damwon deve trabalhar para negar essa alma. Mas isso quer dizer que a Pentanet deve sim botar foco nessa... Oh, ele não viu, ele não viu.
Done as well. We do have the exhaust getting pulled out.
Flashing for the auto attack, but that means a flash and an ulti is easy. Barrel, that is one of the worst plays I have seen, but it might still set it for the rest of it. The shield's not back up. The auto comes in for Ghost. I take it all back. It was the long con. Double kill for Ghost.
Well, Canyon kind of coming up to clean up the garbage here, or Khan coming in to clean up the garbage here. That Barrel left on the ground. And it is Ghost, one last auto, finishing off his passive there to get the double kill. So it's going to be fine for Damwon in the end.
The sad Zoe buy, you know, I know we fought, we had some time together, but yeah, not going to mean too much. You never take that Q. You never, ever take that Q. I was right. That would have been funny if you did. All right, so Khan gonna make the slow walk back to top lane. Does lose a wave or two to the turret, obviously TPing for 2 kills.
O Nar conseguiu voltar pro jogo com essa jogada do Khan. E o Khan não ganhou. Ele errou o flash.
This one, Paddle Stars, a ton of damage. The shield is on. The ignite seals the deal, though, as Barrel walks away cleanly. Great shot comes in for that kill. Chaz should have flashed it.
Showmaker has just been pelting Chaz with damage all game long, and finally Barrel comes over, lands a hook, and allows him to finish off one of those
Nossa,
kills.
isso foi profundamente triste.
You know, he's got 3 stacks on his Dark Seal now.
E novamente pick-off ali.
Damwon now ready
Não, novamente, né? Isso foi pick-off, é o que a composição deles quer fazer.
ready to join any of these fights. Khan has full pressure on top side, so Khan could just keep pushing out on top side. Ghost knows that this is the weak side of the map. They've got the full top side lit up.
Yeah.
A little bit more care though.
Flash stun, Gale Force.
Muito bem jogado.
He scried the brush stun. No one. He's like, I don't even feel safe still. Yeah, I wasn't safe after all. Nicely done, well played, good setup by Papa.
Neutralizado. Essa neutralização foi incrível pro Lucian.
Yeah, at least they got the kill though. Patience pays off there for PGG. Pabu gets in with the flash stun, so they finally get their man. They get the bounty off of Ghost there. Is going to cost them as well across the map.
Okay, looking out of play now in the mid lane as TPs come through as well. They're going to find a bit of damage. Canyon's Black Shield times out, so he has to flash away from what might have been some decent CC. Battlefront takes a chunk, not going to matter. Top lane being pushed in, so I'm going to answer that soon. Khan is shoving in past the rubble of the first turret, and he's about to crash in a tier 2. So Chaz maybe walks there? No, it's going to be free turret damage, actually. As Bile Panther finishes his recall to walk up, that sleep could mean a lot. Shield comes in, not at all. Decoy just takes 1 million damage. Why did he not put the shield up? It might have been on cooldown, but at least he lives. Burns the flash cut over the wall. Nice pickup there. I like that by Showmaker.
Se ele tivesse conseguido ultar não, levantar o escudo a tempo, seria bem mais tranquilo para ele, mas
Damwon now with these outer towers starting to go down, really get to group up and abuse their range advantage. The Zoe plus the Morgana here, constant threat of picks.
O próximo objetivo da Damwon, agora com esse arauto, vai ser nitidamente levar a T1 do bot, e com a T1 do bot liberada, eles vão poder guardar jungle e vão poder realmente, efetivamente, dar esses pick-offs. Vão impedir a PGG de poder jogar na própria jungle.
So maybe they can do it. It is going to be very difficult, of course, because the Black Shield will shield one of the carries, very likely Ghost, and allow Damwon some easy positioning around the fight. But that's what it has to take. When you're facing stuff like this, where there's a range advantage with plenty of pick opportunities in the composition for Damwon,
você não tem uma torre.
PGG looking for the kills.
Smite for a slow, easy stun. I notice that he doesn't walk to the left because he doesn't want to give a good ult target, but it's not going to matter. Of course, Ghost still presses R, but I saw him kind of check that instinct. Like, wait a second. The farther left I walk, the farther away from Chaz he goes. Still going to be a trade of health bars in the brush. They're going to find a stun. Decent damage on a barrel. Anchor tosses backwards. Now, what about the re-engage from Canyon? Who will he bind? What they're going to
10 segundos pro dragão. É uma luta que a PGG quer comprar. Só que o Dia não vai estar ali. Não, PGG, vocês precisam desse dragão para ganhar o jogo. Já era.
Went for gold income instead of the first 2 dragons, and now with that gold lead, they're gonna start claiming them themselves.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever super worried about losing control of the mid-game dragons there, so that's why they kind of didn't pay much attention to the early ones. Meanwhile, if this Rift Trail, they can usher it all the way up to the tower. It looks like there's not PGG defense in place yet, and they can finish off that last outer tower. Then you start to see the wards creep into PGG's jungle, the Zoe bubbles coming over every wall as you're trying to transition between defending the different lanes. And you really start to worry for your life. Every Showmaker bubble could result in the follow-up pick there from Damwon, and that's going to be the next couple of minutes.
Okay. Looking at the bubbles eventually as items keep stacking up. Chaz gonna knock down Shelly, no problem. Here we go. All right, good job. Yeah, times it up. Gets 25 gold for the last hit. Interestingly, of course, not that relevant. It's barely more gold than just killing a melee minion, but it's always, good to get the CS and feel good about yourself. You timed it nicely.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's good that you don't get a lot of money from killing the Rift Trail the second time. Let's see about the pick, though.
Oh, yep. Ward hops in, gets the stop, and now in the 2v1, it might just be easy. Sidesteps the Sonic Wave, but not a problem for Soul Shackles. Khan claims the kill.
The Canyon duo stays winning. Stays winning.
Canyon. Ai, meu Deus.
Over and over and over. All right, I'm still waiting for the really big Lee Sin highlight plays, though. Khan's got to give us some insect plays here, some sick ward hops. Ghost, since the Morgana's always topside, Ghost continues to have to use his ultimate to escape.
Yep, Papa keeps pushing to the right-hand side to make sure the killer instinct doesn't go quite as far, but it's just not going to matter. Just walks away. He tried his best, but it just, Kaisa walks away from
Udyr, it's never really going to be a problem down there. It is going to be Chem Tank, by the way, in this build, so is more of the engage style of the Udyr in this one.
Eu acho que contra a composição de long range essa build faz mais sentido, de fato. A gente viu o Udyr, acho que foi da Mad Line, não. Foi no último game, né? Mas a gente viu um Udyr de manopla. Perdão. O Udyr de manopla ele faz bastante sentido contra a... contra campeões de curto alcance, contra melee. Agora, contra long range, é melhor o Udyr com a... É melhor o Udyr com o Kill Tank. Senão você nunca vai chegar nos caras.
They have to jump on Damwon, try and get the full initiation before too much damage is sustained.
Alrighty. Looking at the plays, looking at the push towards the top jungle. You know, just for good measure, she'll make your cues out of the corner.
E você vê que essa bot lane ela tá forte ainda. O Lucian tá muito forte, ele tá mais forte que a Kai'Sa no jogo em tese. Só que, né?
Barrel just walks in and just contains everything. No easy way in for PGG. Dragon spawns in 145.
É uma composição muito móvel da PGG, sabe? Então, nossa, morreu. Lembra o que eu falei que a composição do Damwon faz? Pick off, né? Pois é, meu amigo.
Canyon there for the follow-up binding. You don't get to move against this team. Showmaker also with the glacial.
Big damage. Oh, he can't get it. Nice stun. Pabu sitting there in bear stance. Stuns before Khan could go for the ward hop. This is why sometimes you have to flash for the kick, because you can channel the kick, then flash into range. If you ward hop first, outside of really tricky things, you cannot precast the R. There are ways to do it if you're really funky with it, but ultimately, by being bear stunned in time, Khan cannot get the kick back.
Yep, a little bit of defensive maneuvers there for PGG, but they continue to lose ground with secondary turrets up around Baron. Guess what? Damwon have already cleaned the area once again of those control wards, so it continues to be the danger game for PGG, trying to hedge their bets. They need to group up and just charge in to hope for a Hail Mary play. In these types of situations, you try and use numbers advantage to your advantage and just try and charge them down. See if you can catch a Damwon person out of position. Not going to be the case here though, because Damwon early.
É muito difícil, olha o range da composição da PGG, sabe? Ih, morreu.
According to the League of Legends official game, Client Showmaker, oh my, burns his flash, knocks him down. Of course, beautifully played setup there by Khan. Give big respect to Insect, the man that actually popularized the play. And now the engage continues. Locket Shield comes in, into the back line goes Ghost.
Isso deveria ser Ghost morto.
Into the graveyard goes Pabu.
Mas o Lucian tá fora da luta.
But it's still a 3v4 on the map, and it's time for the rest of PGG to turn tail and run. And Decoy is gonna be sacrificed on the way out.
All right, I spy a Lucian down there. Did they have vision of Praedith? Maybe they're just going to let him live. Dragon picked up, and they can push with this minion wave on mid as well. Damwon continue to fire. I like how Showmaker doesn't give up on the con play. Right over the wall, they actually capitalize on it. Another dragon for them. Praedith channel.
It didn't
Mano do céu.
Nice.
Didn't catch him.
All right, here's another look. We do get to see Khan comes in for the kick play, and Showmaker says, I've got him. Gonna use his real flash over the wall as soon as his bubble hits here. Gets it every time. Paddle Star right into him. 100% that Gnar before he can build up any sort of rage.
You know, a bit more damage there. Kicking the wall doesn't mean a whole ton there, or a bit of a knockback of damage.
Essa Kai'Sa tinha que estar morta nessa jogada, cara.
Way too high from this team. They're so ahead in gold.
É muito. Só que o Lucian tava dando chase no suporte, velho.
I was tracking Lucian. They did see him after the kill on the barrel with their ward in the tri-brush, so they knew, especially on the minion wave, that he went down there. But Praedith is able to get the recall off, so he retains his 420 KDA free. Perfect.
It's a pretty good one. Ultimately, though, even though he has 100% of his kills, it also means his team has none. Their KDAs look much worse. Honestly, they're gonna try yet again now. Is Well, okay, easy jump back for Khan. He's going to be safe. Bit of damage towards Barrow. Puts the ulti in. A root there. They are going to find a single kill. Cohen's going to push back. A bit more damage for now. Ghost ready for the re-engage and shuts down 2. Nicely done. Snipe's going to land a Biopanther. And even though Pentanet can find a single kill, there's always 2 more coming back.
All right, Pabu front and center. He's got no smite. Can he make the one-way trip in? He's going to try and dodge his way in there. Maybe go for the Hail Mary Baron.
Oh, he's recalling.
All right, well, that's going to be the siege coming from Damwon then.
Wait, I've seen this before. You can't just recall in the exact same spot. Come on, Pabu. You had infinite time to run somewhere else. Well, the man's going to run for his life. There's no way he actually lives. He's going to dodge the Everfrost root. All right, the boy's dead. Thumbs up for Timo. I know it doesn't matter, but Pabu, that was a bit silly, my man.
Yeah, I like to die running towards the enemies, towards the Baron.
Ai, meu
Not
Deus
gonna
do céu.
happen, though. Attempted recall, sussed out by Canyon.
Yeah.
Finds another one. Baron buff now on Damwon. I think this one, Freak. Here's my over-under for you.
Okay.
2 inhibitors.
2 inhibitors.
10k de ouro.
That's pretty big.
Okay, hold on. Does 1 inhibitor plus a Nexus count?
Yeah, I'll give you.
Okay, I'll go over.
All right. Over for Damwon. Let's see about this because this play was over for PGG. Does get the initiation on top side. Guess what? They started it out by killing Beryl once
E
again.
olha o dano desse
But
Lee Sin,
as soon as
cara.
Beryl
Foi
dies,
muito
you know
grotesco.
it's going to be a Damwon victory. Ghost doesn't hesitate to ult it and finish him off.
O Lee Sin, ele
Now,
ficou
we're in
muito
purple,
suave,
right
muito
back
livre
at
no
it.
jogo.
All right.
Essa bot lane de Lucian e Brown, ela acaba não se pagando ao longo do jogo.
Okay, I'll let
O Victor, ele sofre muito na mão da Zoe. E contra essa composição é muito difícil dele fazer o trabalho dele, porque efetivamente ninguém quer entrar. Só quem entra é o Nautilus e o Lee Sin, sabe? Então,
and if Nexus is just one big inhibitor that keeps your whole base from dying, then that might be number 2. Looking now at the defense is Pentanet, as mid lane not going to be too terribly pushed in. In fact, it's actually hitting Damwon's middle outer, so it's just kind of pushing for the game. They're not going for anything bigger than this. They're not going for second lane. They're just going for the game ender. Still 1 minute and 8 seconds as the cannon keeps shooting in.
eles não estão fazendo nada demais, eles não vão ousar ir para uma segunda lane, eles estão indo só pro fim do jogo. Só. Nada mais. Isso foi muito triste.
Finds himself their second kill. Beautifully done for the squad. And
Ace.
goodbye, there is the ace, and I was right, and so was Damwon. They are going to be slaughtering this game. A 27-minute victory.
E meus amigos, é um GG aos 27 minutos. Isso daqui cimenta, né, o como era esperado após os resultados anteriores. A Damwon em primeiro lugar do grupo. A Damwon vai escolher entre PSG e Mad Lions para ser seu adversário. Isso é uma grande vantagem. Eles vão ter que analisar os jogos. E eles têm tempo, não vai ser agora. Tipo assim, escolhe agora, porra. Eles vão poder sentar com a staff deles, escolher. Por quê? Porque a primeira semifinal é no sábado, a segunda semifinal é no domingo e só... Não, desculpa, a primeira semifinal é na sexta, segunda semifinal é no sábado e só no domingo é a finalíssima. Então ainda tem bastante tempo, eles ainda têm amanhã e quinta para pensar, para decidir. Eu acredito que eles tenham que decidir hoje à noite ou amanhã, para que eles já possam organizar a agenda, mas a gente já vai ter essa noção, a gente já vai ter esse conhecimento. Então, guys, com isso eu não vou encerrar minha participação ainda. A gente ainda vai ter 2 jogos. A gente vai ter mais um jogo entre Europa e América do Norte, que esse eu vou cobrir para vocês mais tarde. Eu vou cobrir os 2 jogos. Eu sei que eu tô devendo C9 contra Mad Lions, e agora eu vou ficar devendo Mad Lions contra C9 de novo, porque eu tenho que treinar a minha equipe vai participar do Cebolão amanhã. E vai ser incrível, então fiquem ligados com a Maxta, meus amigos. Muitíssimo obrigado a todos vocês e, como sempre, GG e até logo.